For the sound in the video.
Everyone always thinks it's like a joke, but we have to do it.
Like, what is this, a fucking magic show? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strength Students Podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve Carty.
I'm your other co-host, Nick Scopoletti.
We are joined today by strongman competitor, coach Matt Mills.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
And also owner of Lightning Fitness, the strongest gym in the Northeast?
In New England.
In New England.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. All right.
Cool. I like it. So, Matt, just give kind of a intro to who you are and what you do in the strength world.
Sure. Well, I started this gym over 10 years ago. I was at a trainer at a commercial gym, and since I hated my life there.
Classic.
Yeah.
In there.
For anyone listening, if you've been a trainer and you've been at a commercial gym, I mean, you just get some people that just don't want to work out.
You're
don't
kidding.
Want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys have ever done that before.
We have.
There's people who are just paying for a friend, basically.
Yeah.
Nice
yeah.
people.
Great
but
people.
To train,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, my God. It's the longest hour of my life. So I did one-on-one training there. And the manager at the time was a good friend of mine. He was like, hey, we should really start our own place together. We're going to make so much money. You know, if you guys read my last article on Elite about that, I made a joke, but he was really like, yeah, we're going to make so much cash over fist. We're going to just be raking it in, having our own business.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We should totally do that. And I was in grad school for kinesiology. And my plan was actually to work with sports teams. I was going to work with colleges, colleges or pros teams, whatever I could get into, be a strength coach. And speaking to the strength coaches there, they never had time to work out. So anyone you guys ever talked to that's a strength coach,
Yep.
they're usually not in that great a shape. And I mean no offense to anyone who is.
Right.
But it's always because they don't have time. So whenever I talk to them, they're like, yeah, we work 12 hours straight. We get 1 hour to barely work out. Barely.
Or nap.
And
or
right,
eat.
Yeah, right. You're drained.
Those
You're
are
working
long
with everyone
days,
else.
man. Those are long-ass days.
Yeah, so right there I was like, all right, well, I love to train people. I want to help people. But I love to train myself. I wasn't competing yet.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about this yet, but that's the main thing for me. I can't be a good trainer or a good person. I'll put it out there. I'd be a huge asshole.
Just cranky.
I'm sure a lot of people would if I didn't train. That's just my outlet.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you know what? That's not for me.
Right.
And so my manager approached me about that. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we started in this hole-in-the-wall place. I wish I still had pictures of it. It was only 650 square feet. We had a little dinky squat rack from Dick's Sporting Goods. So if you guys ever been there, you've seen the equipment,
yeah.
the quality of equipment.
Oh, shit.
You look around now, you see what we have here.
Do you have
So
like the sand-filled weights or whatever?
We didn't. We had the plates like that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Yeah, bad. We got whatever we could afford.
My grandfather had those.
It's a start, I guess. Shit.
And he got a job at Dick's Sporting Goods just to get us a discount on the equipment. That's how hard up we were.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
anyway,
It's a good partner to have.
yeah. So we had like just some dumbbells, med balls, and I just did one-on-one training for a good amount of time. We made it through that first year, barely. I actually don't know how we survived our first year there. Moving to a bigger spot, we just outgrew it. Moved to a bigger spot. Then we came into this spot a couple of years ago, and I changed the group training. So that was where really things took off. I had just done one-on-one training for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And then more gyms were doing group training, like CrossFit was coming up, boot camps were coming up, and that was really putting a hurting on any gym that did one-on-one. So I knew it was dying out. And like I just said earlier, one-on-one just, unless you're someone who's really cool, you really don't want to do it that much. It's boring. It's a boring hour, your longest hour of your life with some people.
Yeah.
You know, you have group training, more motivating. You can go help somebody, help this person, way more exciting. Plus, you got someone else next to you working out, motivates that person to work out more. So I slowly switched over to that. Best decision I've ever had in my life. And my partner at the time, he started his own gym. He was in Madison, Connecticut, and he started his own gym out there. And he stuck with just one-on-ones. And I was always like, listen, we got to change the group training. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. He never did.
Yeah.
And then we eventually split off. And I was like, hey, you got your thing, I got my thing. We'll just keep going. And then he couldn't make it. Once we split, he couldn't hold his own, wasn't getting new members. Everyone's doing group training.
Yeah.
So anyway, lost him now, and I have this to myself, which has been awesome. And I'll tell you how I got started competing. Because I love to train, I always wanted something to train for. I originally thought about bodybuilding, but just the competition itself never excited me.
Yeah.
Like I love bodybuilding training. I could do high rep sets, drop sets, whatever,
Oh, yeah,
all day
it's
long.
fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
But getting on stage and a little, whatever you want to call it, mankini and posing, I'm like, and I got friends who do it, and it's awesome.
It's very subjective for a guy that's a performance guy, a strongman guy like you. It's based on your performance. That's like you stand there and they can just tell you what they don't like about you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to do something, and then I read an article on Elite-FTS about why you should do a powerlifting meet, and I was like, that's it. I'm looking for one. And I went on powerliftingwatch.com, found one in Connecticut within I think it was 12 weeks away, and I was like, boom, sign up, doing it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I just jumped right on it, And then I never thought I'd be good at it. I was like, I want someone to train for, someone to work hard in the gym with.
Right.
I went there by myself. I remember I just broke up with my girlfriend at the time. And I was
perfect
like, oh, man,
motivator.
I'm so lonely. I was like, all right, I'm going to do powerlifting. And I had an awesome time. I went there by myself, and people there were so cool. Everyone's helped me. Everyone's like, I didn't know what a deadlift bar was. Imagine now we have 5 deadlift bars here. And I get mad at someone who
And you write for Elite-FTS.
Yeah, right. So it was a time I didn't know what this stuff
What
was.
a turnaround.
Yeah, so I go there, and everyone's helpful. Everyone's helped me out. I didn't know what I was doing. And did great. Had a great time. I met friends that I'm still friends with now. And that was 10 years ago, my first one.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Damn.
I did powerlifting for a couple of years. It just got a little boring, just doing, we just talked about the same 3 lifts, so
Yeah.
I needed something new. And I like being athletic, and that's how I looked up the strongman. Actually, we know it was a guy at powerlifting who said, hey, go on, the website at the time was nastrongman.com. Check that out. There's all these competitions up there. You should check one out and do it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Same thing. Found my first one here in Connecticut, signed up. I had no equipment for this. It's not like now where I have everything possible.
You literally have everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think I had one log, which was one of the tiny logs. We usually use a 12-inch log in strongman. So going from an 8-inch log to a 12 is huge difference. That's all I had. And I had one stone I went and bought, and I had no clue how to pick the thing up. And I just jumped in my first contest. And same thing. People were helping me like crazy. I don't know what I was doing. Just jumped in there, and that's where I actually met Rob Kearney. All this time later, we're best friends now. And we competed
I know that guy.
Stories connect.
Yep.
Yeah.
First contest I ended up doing. That's where I met him. A couple guys from Springfield College. They're all still here training with us. And like Zach and Nick Hadge, pro strongman now.
They are, yeah.
It all started when we all met.
That's crazy.
Yeah, really cool. And we just talked about, I did CrossFit for a little while. And I did 2 CrossFit contests. And I just want to see what it was about. I had a friend who was like, hey, you really got to try this. It's awesome. It's super hard. And I was like, oh, okay, it sounds kind of crazy. But, I like moving. I like jumping. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. We were just talking about, the first one I did, the first WOD was, run a mile, 20 pull-ups, 20 box jumps, maybe something else, and run another mile and keep repeating it. I'm like, I am dying. I can sprint. I can do sled pushes. I can jump, push-ups, whatever. Get me running. No.
Right, a mile running. Can we take out the run, please?
Yeah.
It was good. And so I was like, let's see what this is about. And I did my first CrossFit contest. We were staying with Rob Orlando at his. Yeah. He incorporated a little bit of strongman stuff in there, so it wasn't totally out of my realm.
Right.
But it was still double unders, and we had handstand push-ups, which luckily I could do some of anyway without hitting myself in the head, which I did. It was max handstand push-ups in 5 minutes and something else. And
Jesus.
Yeah, it was handstand push-ups
and
the farmer's walks.
You're 240 pounds at the time, right? You said?
Yeah. So I couldn't do it now. There's no way.
No, you're way too big.
No.
You're far too large.
That's a fucking huge CrossFitter, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had a good time doing it. I'm glad I learned from it.
Do you remember how you placed?
I remember that in that first one I took 5th out of 20 guys. So not too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, the top 5 went to the last 2. The last event was, we talked about the double unders.
Yeah.
And stone to shoulder. It was countdown. And that was the last one. The top 5 made it. I was like, oh, I made it. That's not bad. Because I was barely walk after all that shit we did. But yeah, so 5 out of bad. I couldn't do the double unders, so that was my fall. It was stones. I'm ripping them up. I got this. Double unders. I'm tripping over myself, falling on my face. But it was cool. I had a really good time.
Word.
And I think that was shortly after that is when I went for my pro card, my middleweight pro card.
Okay.
In strongman?
In strongman, yeah. Well, I was coming back from powerlifting because I ruptured my entire pec. I had surgery on my right pec, split the whole muscle in half.
Damn.
Well, I was at a charity event of all things.
How'd you do it?
Bench pressing, I was doing 445.
Okay.
Which is nothing out of nothing crazy at the time for me.
Right.
But felt a rip coming up, and that was it. I needed surgery.
Shit.
That's one of many tears I've had. We can get into that later. So I had surgery, and then actually went for my pro card about a year later. Coming back, so I was out for about 8 months, couldn't do anything, and won my pro card when I was in Florida for that, and that was also big for the gym too. Because Rob and Carlos, if you guys know who Carlos Reyes is, he trains here too. He's a pro strongman, very good powerlifter. I had won mine, and then Carlos had won his. Rob then won his at Nationals that year. So all of us were kind of boom, boom, boom. We're all trained at the same place. So it was huge
that's
for
big,
business.
man. Yeah, that's
Good
huge.
promotion.
And, one thing with the gym is me competing brought in so many new people. Because if you guys look around everyone here, pretty much everyone competes.
Yeah.
We have your average people here wanting to lose weight and everything, but we have a lot of competitors. And it all stemmed from me basically killing myself, doing like we talked about. I did 10 contests my first year: powerlifting, strongman, CrossFit.
Holy shit, dude.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, no, I look back. I'm like, what was? I mean, the weights aren't as heavy as now. Like my weights are like, I have a 700-pound deadlift for reps, a 300 log for reps. Back then it was like, all right, 455 for reps on deadlift and like a 220 log. So like, when me and Rob did all that, we could handle it. It wasn't that big of a deal. We could go week to week. Now I'm done for like weeks after a contest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rob is still going, but he's 10 years younger than me, so that's the only way you can
throw
do
that
it.
in there.
The secret sauce.
I always tell him, you wait till you're 30.
Yeah, there's something about it, man. Once you get there, the machine starts creaking a little different.
Yep. Oh, it does. Yeah. I mean, I'm still going strong. I'm still getting stronger, so I can't complain too much.
You're doing pretty well, man.
Yep,
I would
yep.
say.
Well, how about a little further into your like athletic background? Like, were you a sports dude growing up?
I was a wrestler and I was a boxer when I was in high school and college.
Oh shit.
Which makes sense because now that you're strongman, I was terrible at team sports. Like I would play basketball, like pickup, football, but in like team sports in high school, I was terrible.
Why?
Like plays, I couldn't figure out plays. Like this guy goes that way, you're supposed to go this way. The coach was always yelling at me being an idiot, like because I didn't know what to do.
Coach turns around, you're just like pinning dudes
I'm like,
on
where
the
am I
floor.
going?
Like,
Like,
is this right?
He's like, well, the play, if he runs that
No,
way, you got to
Mills.
go this way. I'm like, I can't understand that. So put me one-on-one against somebody. I'm like, okay, I can do that.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. So I did that. And then that's why I think I like strongman so much. Is just you out there. No one else to worry about. That's kind of the draw for me.
Did you go to high school around here?
Ledyard, which is about an hour. Yep.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's in the area.
Yeah.
What and as far as strength training, like I'm talking like way back, like origins of strength training for you. What was that like?
It's kind of funny actually. So I was like skinny little dork, comic book nerd. As you can see on my tattoos, I'm all about Batman, Superman. So
Yeah,
I was
man, you love the superheroes, bro.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to look like a superhero. That was my thing. I wanted to be as strong as Superman. Look like all that. So that's kind of was my goal. But my main thing was my brother and his friends would pick on me all the time. So my mom would always warn him.
I can't even like picture this.
Yeah, well, my brother's he's a lot smaller than me now, so that's kind of funny.
It's
so
gotta be
he's
funny.
He was 4 years older than me, so at the time he's way bigger. He's picking on me. His friends are picking on me. So I'm like, I'm gonna get you one day. So I was like, it was like that commercial, like I'm drinking milk. Like that was me.
Yeah.
I'm drinking milk and I'm lifting weights and I'm like, that's why I was wrestling and boxing. I'm gonna get these guys. So that was kind of my motivation when I was younger. I was like, I want to beat up my brother. So and then
How little are we talking here? Like,
this was like, I'm 8, 9 years old. I mean,
Oh,
when I
okay.
got into
We're talking
high
like
school,
high
yeah, I wasn't that big in high school. I mean,
This was 5 years ago.
well, I just saw my brother a couple weeks ago, and he seems like he's shrinking, and I'm getting bigger. So, but yeah, that's where it all came from. And I just was reading muscle magazines, and actually, we were just joking about that with him. I was stealing the muscle magazines from him, like Muscle and Fitness and Flex. He'd always have them, but he was a lazy ass, wouldn't do anything. So I'm reading them. I'm downstairs in our basement. I got some weights and a bench, and I'm doing everything.
There you go.
As soon as I got my license, I was right to the gym.
That's awesome.
And so since like 15 years old, I haven't really missed a beat in training. It's just like once I got those results, a little stronger, a little bigger, it was like, that's it. This is what I'm doing. Yep.
Just hooked. Yeah.
Word. And so are you currently competing, just coaching?
Yeah, both. I'm competing in November for Nationals, going for the heavyweight pro card.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'll compete as long as I can. Like, I got quite a bit of injuries racked up on me, but I'm 35. I'm still getting stronger. I'm not that banged up. So, yeah, I'll compete as long as I can.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in, putting a ceiling to yourself, man. If that ceiling's here, like, you might as well just go for it.
Yeah, I got plenty of
Crash
friends that are in
through
their 40s. They're still competing, still hitting PRs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Is there like a master's division in
There is.
in strongman?
Yeah, there's
What is
a 40 and up for strongman.
40 and up,
There's one
okay.
for powerlifting, too.
Oh,
Yep.
dope. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Trying to fight that as long as I can, though.
So, dude, I was going to say, you're looking
Yeah.
into, like, your 60s and 70s. Like,
I know some guys in their 60s.
dude,
that
hell
are
yeah,
still
absolutely.
going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys ever
awesome.
watch Stan Efferding? He's in his 50s.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
man.
met him
I
at
wanna
the
be like that
Arnold.
guy.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
I met him at the Arnold in March, and I was like, "How are you? Like,
Yeah.
how old are you again?"
I have no idea how he does that, but
Yeah,
he's
he's
awesome.
insane.
Yeah, I
He's
met him
a
at the Arnold,
freak.
too. Really good guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's the man. What is your training like now? Like for
It's
strongman,
great.
like because I know it varies. Some guys are just like do whatever they feel, or some have set days or programming.
Yeah, no, I have a set program. I really feel everyone should have a set program. I mean, you know what? When I won my pro card before that, I never had a set program. I just go in and do what I feel.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well with that for a while, but then I got stuck. So I need to have some kind of progression to that. So I would just go in and be like, all right, I'm going to log press today. I'll just hit a heavy 3. But I'd always look back at whatever I did before and try to beat that.
Okay.
So I think that's why I always
you kept track.
Yeah, that's why I did so well. You have to. Yeah, that's any beginner out there. Get a notebook. Write down every single one of your workouts. Like, that's huge. When I work with people for the first time, I'm amazed they don't do that. Like, you might remember a couple of PRs, but like if you had a PR on your accessory work, that's still improvement.
Absolutely.
So you think over a year's time, if you can get one more rep, 5 more pounds, that adds up to a huge amount of gains right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I write down all my books from like years ago, and I look back at them still. I'm like, oh, I mean, look how weak I was back here. You know, well, it's motivating, right? You see
Seeing your progress,
You can
dude.
see how far you've come.
See your
That's
progress.
true.
So I require everyone here to get a notebook and write down their workouts for that. You know, I look back at them all the time. I'm like, oh, man, this is awesome how far I've come. If you have a bad day, you're like, oh, I couldn't break the floor with a deadlift or whatever. You look back and I'm like, well, it's still more than I used to do, even on a bad day.
Yeah, you're like, still
Yeah, it's
100
great.
pounds more than the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Do you
awesome.
do you program for yourself, or do you?
No, I work with one of my friends. I program for everyone here and then all people online. So when it comes to myself, I'm like, I don't want to think. So
So you have a coach.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, he's a good friend of mine. He's been competing.
Hell yeah.
It's Mike Mistel, if you guys ever heard of Mike.
Okay.
He's a pro strongman, too. Known him for years and years. So I was like, I don't want to think for myself. I think for everybody else. You know, and a lot of...
That's exactly
a
how
lot
I
of coaches...
feel.
Yeah, right. A lot of coaches who coach, like me, still have another coach.
Yeah.
You know, just because I want to come into the gym and be like, okay, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Just like anyone else does here. Yeah.
So a little research we kind of did on you. We talked about it a little too. You went to UConn, right?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
strength and conditioning, bachelor's in strength and conditioning,
Yep.
and then you said a master's,
Bachelor's
and
and
you
master's.
said kinesiology.
Yeah, it's all the same thing, really.
Okay.
Yeah, kinesiology. Yeah, strength and conditioning.
So talk a little bit about where that education kind of crosses over into your like training mentality and your programming mentality, or does it not even cross over at all?
You know what? Be honest, it doesn't really. A lot of that was research based, which I enjoy reading the research and knowing what works and what doesn't. But a lot of what I do for my own program is my own experiences. You know, from just working. I've worked with people now for 10 years in the gym, so about 14 years I've been training people for. So that's more of my own experience of what works, what doesn't work. Not that I don't take things out of research, and especially nutrition, and learn from that what I've learned in school, but not a whole lot. And it's funny because anyone comes to the gym, I think like one person's ever asked me what my education is.
Right.
Yeah, one, maybe two. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, they see the gym, they see the look of you, and they go,
Yeah.
this guy knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but not every coach knows what they're doing who's in shape.
Good point.
There's a lot of people who
yes,
just
fair point.
just genetic freaks and they can do whatever, and they'll just, oh yeah, you do the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, it doesn't work like that.
You're like, I can't do what you do.
Well, look,
dude.
how many online trainers do we see now?
Oh man.
That
Yeah.
compete one time. Oh, DM me for coaching. You're like
$75 for a shred program.
Yeah, what have you done? You don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right. You work with what, one person? You think you can program for people? I mean, I'll just say online training is very difficult. It's way difficult than in-person training.
I think so. It's,
Because
it's so
you don't
hard.
see that
Oh,
person. I
absolutely.
just have them
Yeah,
send me video.
definitely.
I mean, I love it. I really enjoy it. But I always feel you got to have some experience in person with people before you even try to do something like that. That's a little off topic. That'll get me on a rant.
No,
on
no,
that
no,
stuff, but
that's
yeah,
perfect.
I see that
That's
stuff all the
We've
time.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're both trainers. We've talked about that. It's like, man, been training people in person just for 6 years since I got out of college, and I can't even I'm thinking people sending me videos and emails.
It's a
I'm
lot.
Like, oh, this is kind of weird. I would rather be there.
Well, you
Maybe
really
you get to a point where you know enough.
Yeah.
Like you
really honestly, you really can't do it with beginners because they need to be shown.
Yeah,
let's say I'm working with a beginner
no way.
for strongman.
There's
There's so
way.
many things I need to show somebody in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
How to log press, how to do an atlas snow, whatever. Like I was shown those things in person by people. Someone just writing an article, you can read that and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it, and then it goes to complete garbage when you do it, and you wonder why you suck at it. You need a qualified coach in person at first.
Oh, absolutely.
So intermediate to advanced people, yeah, I think online coaching would be great with the right coach anyway.
Yeah.
But beginners just sending videos in, it's I don't think that'll work.
Yeah,
I,
that's rough.
I usually turn people down. I'll say, hey, listen, you got to find a qualified coach. Drive an hour, find someone in person that you can work with that knows what they're doing first before you even try anything like this.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Definitely.
without a doubt.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll go into a little more about strongman, not just for competitors, but for anyone, general fitness and things
For your
like
parents
that. So,
or grandparents.
For whoever. Be right back. We'll be back with Matt Mills.
Yeah.
Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her. Rolling.
I still can't get over that.
Welcome back. Strength Students Podcast. We're here second half with Matt Mills,
Yeah.
super strong man.
That's me.
And we are talking about strongman for everybody, not just men or strong men,
Or
every
women.
person.
I try to get women more involved than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think strength sports as a whole are becoming more popular with females in fitness.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is good. You know,
I think a lot of it's due to CrossFit.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, really,
There's a
look
lot
what we
of
just saw in the
stuff,
games,
yeah.
right? How many strongman events are in there?
There were a lot this year.
The
now
thing
I'm
I don't
thinking about
understand with this is that when people in strongman are like, they're stealing our events. This is,
Dude, no,
Well,
it's helping out, man.
It's helping everybody.
helping out.
Like-
This is like a hot button topic with myself and us on the podcast. We've been. It's crazy because it's all these things. Like there's CrossFit and Strongman and powerlifting, and I've talked to like powerlifters that are like, oh well, Mark Bell sponsors CrossFitters now. I'm
cool.
like,
What's wrong with that?
I'm like, all right, dude. Like, it's fitness. We're not in the Marines. We're not fight. It's not war. It's lifting fucking weights.
Yeah.
It's fun. It just I see me getting upset.
yeah.
But
Well, that's what I've done. I've done all three.
It drives,
and I'm
it drives
like,
me
I don't.
nuts. It drives me literally
I'm like-
crazy.
Yeah, when I see that stuff in CrossFit, I'm like, oh, cool. They're using the yokes and the farmers. So then when people come here, they're like, oh, I've seen that before. So it actually makes it
Right.
easier.
Right.
than
It's
anything,
becoming
you
more
know?
main-
Or
mainstream.
what is that? And they learn a little more about it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's strongman. Oh, what's strongman? Okay, let's get into strongman.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
you guys were talking about, you've seen these huge guys on TV doing this stuff. They're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't lift a log. I can't lift an Atlas stone. But then they see these girls dressed half naked in CrossFit doing it. Like, oh, yeah, I want to look like her. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't see the problem here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's
other people
we've
drive
talked
it.
about it with weightlifting too, man. Like the USAW was falling off the cliff, and then CrossFit came along,
Yeah.
and a lot of people still kind of think like they see weightlifting, they're like, oh, that's CrossFit. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's part of it.
I'll get
It's
annoyed
here way
in that
earlier.
sense. Like I had this guy come in one time. Takes a look around the gym. He looks at the tires. He's like, "Oh, you guys have tires here?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do tire flips." He goes, "Oh, you must be CrossFit." I'm like, well, "Not CrossFit." I'm like, "I like CrossFit. Nothing wrong with it."
Right, exactly. Like we
Don't
just
call
said.
me that.
It's so weird.
true.
It's
It's
like
true,
so
though. It's
funny.
true.
No, it is. It's just funny, man. Like how that happened.
So, what we kind of wanted to talk to you more about, we've talked about you as a strongman competitor and some other strongman competitors, but taking it out of the realm of competing and just into the realm of, day-to-day training or fitness. Where does strongman have a place?
Yeah, it changed the way I train people, because when I started, I literally gained 10 pounds of muscle, lost 10 pounds of fat. My whole body changed, and I was just
Shit.
doing mainly powerlifting, some bodybuilding, but doing the tire flips, the stones, all that, it's so different. Your body's not used to.
It adds a metabolic
So-
effect as opposed to just lifting and lifting and lifting. You
Huge.
know?
So I was like, hey, this is doing this to me. This is going to help everyone else too. Now, the thing is that we talked about with you guys before we came in here was people come in here, they're a little intimidated by it. They see someone flipping, I remember this happened one time. Someone's flipping a 1,000-pound tire that's right here. Thing's gigantic, right?
Right.
So some woman will come in who's like in her
Pretty
40s, 50s, just wanting to lose weight, feel better. And then she goes, well, I'm not going to flip that. I'm like, well, yeah, you're not going to flip the 1,000-pound tire. I was like, I have a little one here. I'm not going to. So some people think that they're going to get hurt because I'm going to say, oh yeah, hey, you're next, 1,000 pounds.
Right,
you got it.
I don't want to deadlift 800 pounds. No, we're going to start you with a kettlebell.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we'll figure it out from there. We'll
Exactly.
start,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually what I do. I won't have anyone
That's-
even.
yeah,
I don't
same.
have anyone even touch a bar. I mean, it depends on their experience. Let's say
Right.
they're brand new beginner. We have a ton of kettlebells here. They're awesome for that. So I'll have them deadlift with a kettlebell. I'll have them do squats with a kettlebell. I won't even put a bar in their back yet because most people can't squat with a
No,
bar in their
yeah.
back right away. So I'll have them do goblet squats, introduce them with those things, and then some like farmers walks. You can do that with kettlebells.
Yeah, absolutely.
So loaded carries are awesome. You do
Absolutely.
one arm at a time, both overhead, racked carries. So I have them do all those things. And I don't have everyone do stones and tire flips because let's say someone has some back issues. You're not going to have them lift an Atlas stone right away.
No.
I mean, eventually, yes, they have to build some strength for it. Those are some things I don't have people do right away. And even like the yoke. That one can be a little scary. It puts a lot of stress in your back.
It is, yeah.
When you build up some general strength, yeah, we'll do those things. You're feeling up for it, but never right away. And I always explain to people because you come in here and you'll see people. You'll see Rob over there pressing 400 pounds like nothing.
Yeah.
Asshole.
I know. We hate that guy, too.
So yeah.
He's the worst.
So I'll have people start, but I have a tiny log. It weighs 40 pounds. So the nice thing I can do here is I don't feel you can do it at a lot of gyms. Is I have the equipment for strongman in increments that from what I've seen, most gyms don't have. Okay. So when I see stones at gyms, I sometimes see them start at like 200 pounds. Our smallest stone here is 60.
There you
So
go.
people can lift 60. Or our smallest tire here is 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And I have a log press that only weighs 40. Rather than one of those heavy logs that starts at 200 pounds. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah, right.
Or one of our yokes is only 90 pounds.
Got you.
We have a 90-pound yoke, then I have a 330-pound yoke. So,
Could see him.
yeah, I have something that everyone can use here rather than just have one piece of equipment. That's something I've just built up over, the years because I wanted to use it with everybody.
Yeah.
I can buy a big heavy-duty log and have some guys use it, but let's say I got a woman here that wants to start out, she can't start with that, but I want to have her do log presses, so I have a smaller log.
Yeah.
And that's just nice because the sport has grown that other companies can now build this equipment that we can all use.
Yeah.
Even the circus dumbbells, like Rogue. Rogue has awesome equipment for all that stuff.
There's another thing that CrossFit has brought about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a huge selection of CrossFit or Strongman there, and I pretty much have all their equipment. So, but they make it small enough for everyone to use, and then work their way up as they get bigger and stronger. It's great.
Yeah.
We're talking about girls here. I probably have so many girls that came here just to look better and feel better. Had no intention of ever competing in powerlifting or strongman. And they're here for 6 months, maybe a year, and then they see a contest because we hold 2 shows a year here for 2 of both, powerlifting and strongman. They'll see one, they'll be like, I can do that. I can do those weights.
Right.
And then I'm like, yeah, let's go. I don't push anybody. I'll suggest it. I don't get pushy with it because then people kind of back away from it.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
But I'll tell you, once they compete, it's like life changing. I had a girl here. She was here for probably about 2 years. Always came off and on. Did okay, never really got great results, but she was never consistent. And that's the biggest thing. You got to be consistent with this. She competed one time, was hooked. And now she's I don't think she's missed a training session in the last year. And her whole body's transformed.
Absolutely.
And she's lifting heavy, deadlift's going through the roof, everything, and she's lost I don't know how much weight and looks way better.
Yeah.
So
just because she competed.
So do you get more people coming to you about wanting to try strongman stuff and powerlifting stuff rather than approaching people like, hey, try strongman?
Yeah, it's usually me trying to get them into it. The average person walking the door just wants to look better, feel better, lose some weight. It isn't until I incorporate those things into the workout, then they're like, oh, hey, this is fun.
Oh, nice.
Then I'm explaining, hey, do a high rep set of log clean and presses, like you see me do those one motions.
Yeah.
Do a set of 8 to 10 reps on those. That's cardio.
Yeah.
You're gassed.
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a lot more fun than getting on a treadmill.
So
but
much
people
more
just
fun,
do,
yeah.
everyone goes to the gym. I think what's the percentage? 90% of people don't get results who go to a gym, because they're doing the treadmill or elliptical or whatever, and they're just sitting on some machines.
Yeah.
But get them off, get them off their ass, get them moving around, holding weights and running and sprinting with sleds and tire flips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's life. It's game changing.
There's just incentive when you come to a place like this. When you see, half the most popular, successful lifters, and you see all these women on Instagram that all I did was cardio. I would go to a commercial gym and all I did was cardio. And then they'll show before and afters from 4 years ago. 4 years ago of them all right, been powerlifting for 4 years, and it's night and day.
Yeah.
And they got everything they wanted from something they didn't expect.
Yeah, from lifting heavy, and they didn't get huge.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation I still have. And I always debate when someone says that to me, I'm either like, does this person actually believe they're going to get too big, or are they just lazy?
I literally had a client today who does goblet squats. She's old, in her 60s, woman in her 60s, who was doing goblet squats with a 12-kilogram kettlebell. Nothing crazy. And she goes, my sister-in-law was telling me that this is going to make my butt get big. Am I going to get really big? And I go,
First of all, what's wrong with big butt?
I wanted to say that, but I got to keep it,
Be like, hell yeah, lady.
When girls come in here and they say, hey, I want a bigger butt, I'm like, yes, you are in the
Let's
right
get it.
place.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
She was so nervous. I was like, and in my head, I was like, you can't build that much muscle to where it's going to get, you don't eat enough, you don't train like that.
Yeah.
You don't have that capacity to build that.
We don't realize that as guys that what women deal with. That they hear that stuff all the time.
Yeah,
or even,
crazy.
let's say, a girl who looks awesome, that lifts weights, maybe has a little vein popping out of her bicep, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But other girls will be like, ew, that's gross.
Yeah.
You're too big. You're too manly. Even though the girl's still 140 pounds or something like that. And I've had even guys who don't work out at all will see a girl like that. This is usually online, not too much in person because people are too.
No one has balls.
People got balls online, bro.
People see these
People got
comments
balls online.
like that. The article I think I remember you talking about, this girl who did powerlifting, reshaped her body. Be like, oh, you look better before. You're too manly. You're too big now. And it's like
sick, man.
I don't think the girl cares at all. What your opinion is, but you get that from people who don't lift. I don't mean to generalize that everyone who doesn't lift is whatever.
No.
But you
we
do
know
get
what you
people
mean,
like
though.
that and girls that have those negative comments, and it gets in their heads.
It's tough because like you just said, it's tougher for women because as dudes, for being a dude, you want to be as big and strong as possible, right? You remember the dude in high school who was the biggest, strongest dude?
Yeah.
Got all the chicks, got big arms, whatever, all that stuff. Like, it's a cool thing for us, but for them, it's not. So
it's
tough
totally
to-
it's different. Well, I've had guys come in here and I had a guy who signed up here. He came in and was like, I don't want to get as big as you are. And I was like, I've been doing this.
Who is this person?
Yeah. No, he's actually a great guy down
Okay.
But at the first one, this guy's not going to last here. But he's actually really good, and he has. But I just explained it to him. Because sometimes I'm not sure if they don't realize that or if they just, like I said, they're just being lazy. Like, well, I don't want to work that hard. And I'm not going to tell them, well, I don't want to get too big, so I just stay lifting a 20-pound dumbbell.
Yeah,
you know, but
I think it's perception. I don't think people realize, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, oh, he's a big guy, he works out. If I work out, I'm going to turn into that.
Yeah, but
it's like,
I'm 35. I've literally been training 20 years straight, trying to do that. So it's not like even a year. You're not going to get like that big in a year. If you gain 5-10 pounds of muscle in a year, that's pretty good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, people don't realize
that's incredible.
That. Like if I work with someone who's trying to gain weight and they're like, "Oh, I'm just not gaining fast enough." I'm like, "Well, how much weight you gain?" 8 pounds in like whatever 2 months. And I'm like, "What's wrong with that? That's awesome."
I could do that in a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you can eat a bunch of crap and look like shit, right? But that's
Right.
easy. But gaining solid muscle, that is very difficult, and it's even more difficult as a female.
Oh yeah.
So I always have to explain that. I'm like, listen, you can lift all you want, and plus you got to eat for it too.
Yeah.
So if your goal is to lose weight and you're taking in more calories than you burn in a day, well, you're going to gain weight.
Yeah.
If you want to lose, take in less. You're not going to gain muscle. You're not going to look like a man. Or, it was that commercial. I think it was a Powerade. It had the girl lifting the dumbbell, and she starts drinking a Powerade, and her arm turns like huge. All of a sudden, I was like, this is what we don't want on TV for women to see.
Like, God damn it.
Some are going to believe, like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do those dumbbell curls. I'm going to get huge now.
I think it's hot, man. I see these CrossFit chicks. I'm like, yo, that is fucking hot.
No, it's awesome. I love it too.
They're jacked. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to throw out names, but I mean, you see some of these women here. It's like,
Brooke Hens. So yeah.
Brooke Wells.
So next to like the aesthetic component of things, just from like maybe a functional standpoint or a strength standpoint, why do you think that strongman is such a vital or such a
important part of training?
Yeah. Why do you think it's such a beneficial part of training?
For everyday life. I always use the example of carrying your groceries in. That's something I always hear from women who like they go shopping and you got to take a couple trips. But now we're doing it in one trip. Farmers walks all day.
Hell yeah,
right?
baby.
Right.
Put 14 bags in each hand.
What guy doesn't do that? You go shopping. I got it.
Let's go. Your
That's a farmer's walk
Your
right there.
fingers are white from
You
just like.
got one hanging on your pinky barely. But that's what I hear mainly is that they can do those things they couldn't do before. But that's just general strength of everyday life. So like when you're sitting down doing machines and cables, whatever, that stuff's fine as a bodybuilding perspective. But if you can flip a tire, lift an Atlas stone, you can pick up a box off the floor easy.
Yeah, there's no in life. There's no like you're not gonna be able to. Your kids aren't mounted on a barbell. You're not gonna be able to pick up your kids using a barbell.
Right.
There's no perfect like sit down to a box squat like type form. It's like they're in awkward positions doing stuff that's awkward.
The odd objects of strongman that applies.
Exactly. And that's when regular people, I believe, will get hurt the most. They're doing something weird. I'm gonna bend this way and do like I'm just gonna do this in my garden.
Shoveling snow. How many you guys got trained people? How many times do you have someone get hurt shoveling snow?
Fuck their back up all the time.
Gardening.
All the time.
How do you get hurt gardening?
Yeah.
I don't garden, so I don't know. But like gardening, come on. But I'll tell you a story about that. A girl I trained for a while, doing strongman and everything, and she had to replace the water in her, and the water fountain, the big jugs of water. They were like 45 pounds. They're a little hard to put
annoying.
up there, right?
They're awkward.
But she doesn't look anything impressive, but she was decently strong here, flipping the 500-pound tire. And she was going to put the water in there. The guy was like, hey, let me get that. She goes, I got this. And she just flips it up, puts it in. The guy's like, oh, all right, my bad.
Yeah.
But that's something she couldn't do before.
Hell yeah.
And now she's like, yeah, all right, I'll throw that right in there.
It's empowering.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's awesome.
It's empowering.
Yep.
And the other thing about strongman too, and not only strongman, but this whole quote unquote like functional training wave that we've gone through the past couple of years, right? The way I try to tell people and how I try to relate it to people is like, when you're training for something, you're training for something, right? Like when you're an Olympic weightlifter, you train Olympic weightlifting. When you're a powerlifter, you train powerlifting. When you're a football player, you train for football, right? Most of these people are not training for anything except for everyday life, right? So that's why these movements are important, because these are the closest movements to the everyday movements that you're going to see. Picking shit up off the floor and carrying it. Getting into a weird position and having to pick something up like that. That's what you're training for, Half the people that you train, more than half I would say, would probably come to you and they say the same thing, right? Oh, I just want to be fit and healthy. Well, that kind of falls under that umbrella. Like, can you tackle everyday life? Are you able to handle it? Yeah.
And we have the whole functional thing. Like we even have a Bosu ball over there. I don't know why, actually. I got it. I think my old partner got it like years ago. I'm like, we'll keep it around. We have all that stuff. But that's always the argument. Like people say, well, it's functional. I'm like, what is functional standing on a Bosu ball doing curls? I mean, cool if you.
When are you ever doing that?
That's your circus trick. Or you see people on the internet squatting on a stability ball.
Yeah.
Then how many people have you seen get hurt do that too?
Yeah.
It's silly, but but strongman is more functional. That's what functional means, being how you relate it to everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we just talked about, shoveling snow, carrying groceries, picking up boxes, doing everyday things that if you weren't strong, you'd get hurt. When people always say to me, if you guys compete in CrossFit, you've heard it too. Like, oh, aren't you worried about getting hurt? I'm like, yeah, I've been hurt a million friggin' times doing this sport. But if I didn't do these things, I'd get hurt doing something stupid like picking something up or whatever, throwing your back out. You know, you hear that all the time from people.
Absolutely.
You know, have a bad back and they don't do anything their entire life but sit down. And it's like, well, that's why you got a bad back.
Yeah.
You know?
Being weak and
I wanted to go a
Yes.
little more to that. You're a guy who you said earlier in the show you've had a plethora of injuries. So what is kind of your take on that? People who are, you know, it's people see these strength sports like strongman, CrossFit, powerlifting, and they say, yeah, but, you know, aren't you going to get hurt with all that weight? And,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like we have this base of people who are trying to fit themselves into the fitness world, but without ever getting hurt. And it's just
Impossible.
Is that life?
It's impossible. I mean, look at anyone in the pro sports of football, basketball. You're going to get injured. You're pushing your body to the absolute limits. Like, when I train your everyday person, they're not doing what I'm doing. So when I'm saying to them, like, hey, listen, well, I can't promise no one's going to get hurt ever because you never can tell with this.
No.
But the likeliness of something like me of tearing a muscle, I'm like, no, you're going to be fine. But if you're pushing yourself to the limits, like a lot of us do in here when you're competing, it's I hate to say it, but it's like it's bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, you're not going to make it through life without getting hurt at some point. You're going to break some bones or do something. You know,
Sure.
that's just how life is. You know,
Yeah,
you got to
there's
be ready
like
for
a
that.
handful of freaks out there that could do anything. But
Yeah.
Well,
But,
and being hurt and being injured are two different things as
Yeah.
well. You know, like you're going to train, you're going to go through life, like you're going to get hurt.
Mhm.
You know, you're going to roll that ankle outside the
Yeah,
gym,
right.
or you're going to come in the gym and maybe bump your shoulder up a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
and I'll
going to
say,
happen.
a lot of my injuries were avoidable. Looking back, I'm like, you know what? If I was showing back and I knew this, I would have, you know, like my bicep tear, I was doing the axle. You guys see the Continental where you have to pull it up.
Yeah,
It's like the number one way to tear a bicep. I was doing it 2
Looks
days.
like
yeah, well, I was working on just the cleans, so I was doing a lot of cleans. I was cleaning 300 pounds. But I was like, oh, I'm fine, and then rip. I was like, oh, that was dumb. Why didn't I stop? And I was having a bad day, and it wasn't clicking. And it's one of those things in my head. I'm like, you should stop. I'm like, nah, screw it. I got this. You know. And I'm like, and then it happens. I'm like, why didn't I listen to myself?
Right.
So
right.
something like that, I could have avoided.
But it's a
yeah.
learning experience.
Right.
And it'll probably never
You know,
happen again.
Yeah. You think I have it figured out? At the time I was 34, competing for a lot. I think I know these things by now. But no, I've actually gotten pretty good. If I feel something go, or like, you know, I'm worried about something, I just stop. I'm like, nope, it's not worth getting hurt right now. Move on, and I've always come back the next time and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But so whenever someone does that, it's not a matter of being like someone who's like, people make excuses all the time, like, oh, this hurts, that hurts. Like, all right, come on, like. You can't say everything hurts and you can't do anything, you know?
Right.
There's going to be some pain you're going to have to push through. We got to know when that line is to stop where you're going to get hurt. They said there's injuries and then there's pain.
Yeah.
We all have pain, especially the longer we do this stuff.
Absolutely.
Word.
Without a doubt.
All right. Anything else you want to add, ask?
No, I think we're good, man.
Good.
Matt, thank you for joining us, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Real quick before we sign off here, just plug where you're at, where people can find you, social
Absolutely.
media, anything.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Matt Mills, easiest name ever. Instagram, Mills Fitness. And let me see, I think that's about it. I'm not too big on anything else. We were just talking about Snapchat and all that. I was like, Instagram, Facebook, those are my things. Where I put
Right on
everything up.
Elite-FTS.
Boom, there you go.
Oh yeah, I should say Elite-FTS. Thank you for
Oh,
reminding me
right,
that.
yeah.
That's still fairly new, actually. I've only been writing for them for about 3 months.
Okay.
As you can see, I've always worked with them. The whole gym is pretty much equipped through with Elite-FTS. But
see,
yeah, if you want to read more, I have articles up on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I suggest everyone go read his articles.
Yeah, his articles on Elite-FTS are dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, for joining us. Our followers, make sure you hit us up on YouTube, iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, Strength Students Podcast. Give us a 5-star review.
And come to Lightning Fitness.
Yeah,
it's
come
dope,
to Lightning
and
Fitness.
everyone's
Try out some
super, super
Strongman.
nice.
Check it out. We will see you next episode. Peace.